The Sukhoi Su-30 is a twin-engine, two-seat supermaneuverable fighter aircraft developed by Russia's Sukhoi Aviation Corporation. It is a multi-role fighter for all-weather, air-to-air and air-to-surface deep interdiction missions. The Su-30 started out as an internal development project in the Sukhoi Su-27 family by Sukhoi. The design plan was revamped and the name was made official by the Russian Defense Ministry in 1996. Of the flanker family, only the Su-27, Su-30, Su-34 and Su-35 have been ordered into serial production by the Defense Ministry. All the others, such as Su-37, were prototypes. The Su-30 has two distinct version branches, manufactured by competing organizations, NATO and the Irkut Corporation, both of which come under the Sukhoi Group's umbrella. NATO manufactures the Su-30 MKK and the Su-30 MK2, which were designed for and sold to China, and later Indonesia, Venezuela and Vietnam. Due to NARPO's involvement from the early stages of developing Su-35, these are basically a two-seat version of the mid-1990s Su-35. The Chinese chose an older but lighter radar so the canards could be emitted in return for increased payload. It is a fighter with both air superiority and attack capabilities, generally similar to the US F-15E. Irkut traditionally served the Soviet air defense and, in the early years of flanker development, was given the responsibility of manufacturing the Su-27UB, the two-seat trainer version. When India showed interests in the Su-30, Irkut offered the multi-role Su-30 MKI, which originated as the Su-27UB modified with avionics appropriate for fighters. Along with its ground attack capabilities, the series adds features for the air superiority role, such as canards, thrust vectoring, and a long-range phase array radar. Its derivatives include the Su-30 MKM, MKA and MKV from Malaysia, Algeria and Venezuela, respectively. The Russian Air Force operates several Su-30s and has ordered the Su-30 SM version. Development: while the original Su-27 had good range, it still did not have enough range for the Soviet Air Defense Forces. The Air Defense Forces needed to cover the vast expanse of the Soviet Union. Hence, development began in 1986 on the Su-27PU, an improved capability variant of the Su-27 capable of serving as a long-range interceptor or airborne command post. The two-seat Su-27UB combat trainer was selected as the basis for the Su-27PU, because it had the performance of a single-seat Su-27 and long-range missions require two crew members. A proof-of-concept demonstrator flew June 6, 1987, and this success led to the kickoff of development work on two Su-27PU prototypes. The first Su-27PU flew at Irkutsk on December 31, 1989, and the first of three pre-production models flew in April 14, 1992. Design: the Su-30 is a multi-role fighter. It has a two-seat cockpit with an air brake behind the canopy. Flight characteristics: the integrated aerodynamic configuration, combined with the thrust vectoring controllability, results in unprecedented maneuverability and unique takeoff and landing characteristics. Equipped with a digital fly-by-wire system, the Su-30 MK is able to perform some very advanced maneuvers, including the Pugachev's Cobra and the tail slide. These maneuvers quickly decelerate the aircraft, causing a pursuing fighter to overshoot. Power plant: the aircraft's power plant incorporates two Saturn AL-31F afterburning low-bypass turbofan engines. Two AL-31FS, each rated at 12,500 kg forces of full afterburning thrust ensures Mach 2 in level flight, 1,350 km/h speed at low altitude, and a 230 ams climbing rate. With a normal fuel reserve of 5,270 kg, the Su-30 MK is capable of performing a 4.5-hour combat mission with a range of 3,000 km. An in-flight refueling system increases the range to 5,200 km or flight duration up to 10 hours at cruise altitudes. Avionics: the aircraft features autopilot ability at all flight stages including low-altitude flight in terrain following mode, and individual and group combat employment against air and ground sea surface targets. Automatic control system interconnected with the navigation system ensures route flight, target approach, recovery to airfield and landing approach in automatic mode. Variants: Su-30K, commercial version of the basic Su-30. Su-30Ki, Sukhoi proposal for upgrading Russian AF single-seat Su-27s. Also proposed export version for Indonesia. 24 were ordered but subsequently cancelled due to the 1997 Asian financial crisis. Su-30KN, upgrade project for operational two-seat fighters, the Su-27UB, Su-30 and Su-30K. This was cancelled in Russia but later revived as Su-30M2. Belarusia consider updating ex-Indian Su-30K to the Su-30KN standard. Su-30MK, commercial version of Su-30M first revealed in 1993. Export versions include navigation and communication equipment from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Su-30M2, a version from manufacturer Narpo based on the Su-30MK2 which omits canards and thrust vectoring. The Russian Air Force placed an initial order for the variant in 2009. Factory tests were completed in September 2010. 20 aircraft are planned. At least 4 have been produced as of December 2013. Su-30 MKI, MKI stands for Modernizerovan, Komishsky, Indisky meaning modernized, commercial, Indian. Jointly developed with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the Indian Air Force. Includes thrust vectoring control and canards. Equipped with a multinational avionics complex sourced from Israel, India, Russia and France. Its NATO codename is Flanker H. The Su-30 MKI is reputed to be more advanced than the basic Su-30 MK, the Chinese Su-30 MKK Mk2. Su-30 MKK, export version for China. MKK stands for Modernizerovan, Komishsky, Kitezky or modernized, commercial, China. Its NATO codename is Flanker G. Su-30 MKM, a derivative of the India-Russian Su-30 MKI, the MKM is a highly specialized version for Royal Malaysian Air Force. It includes thrust vectoring control and canards but with avionics from various countries. It will feature head-up displays, navigational forward-looking IR system and Damocles laser designation pod from Thales Group of France, MAW-300 missile approach warning sensor, RWS-50 AWR and laser warning sensor from Saab Aviatronics as well as the Russian NIIPN-011 MBARS PESA radar, electronic warfare system, optical location system and a glass cockpit. Su-30 MKA, a version of the Su-30 MKI, except with French and Russian avionics for Algeria. Su-30 SM, a specialized version of the thrust vectoring Su-30 MKI for Russian military, produced by the Irkut Corporation. A contract for 60 of the multirole fighter was signed in March 2012 with delivery by 2016. On September 21, 2012 Su-30 SM performed its maiden flight. Su-30 MKV, export version for Venezuela. Su-30 MK2V, Su-30 MK2 variant for Vietnam with minor modifications. Operators: Algeria, Algerian Air Force has 44 Su-30 MKAs in service. Angola, Angolan Air Force ordered 18 Su-30K fighters on October 16, 2013 as part of a $1 billion deal that also included other equipment and maintenance services for the country. The Su-30KS were initially delivered to India in the 1990s, but were returned to Russia in 2007. A People's Republic of China, People's Liberation Army Air Force operates the Su-30 MKK variant. The People's Liberation Army Naval Air Force operates the Su-30 Mk2 variant. As of 2012 the China operates 76 Su-30 MKK and 24 Su-30 Mk2, India, Indian Air Force operates the Su-30 MKI variant. Russia built the early Su-30 MKIs. Later Su-30 MKIs are assembled indigenously under license by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. The IAF has 194 Su-30 MKIs in service as of March 2013. Indonesia. Indonesian Air Force ordered a total of 11 Su-30 Mk-Mk2 fighters. As of September 2013 it has all Su-30 Mk-Mk2s in inventory. Malaysia. Royal Malaysian Air Force after a close visit to see India's Su-30 MKI, ordered 18 Su-30 MKMs in May 2003. The first two Su-30 MKMs were formally handed over in Irkutsk on May 23, 2007, later arrived in Gongkidak Air Base on June 21. As part of the contract, Russia sent the first Malaysian cosmonaut to the International Space Station in October 2007. Malaysia had 18 Su-30 MKMs in service. Russian Air Force has 8 Su-30 M2 and 18 Su-30 SM fighters as of June 2014. It had 65 Su-30 SMs on order in February 2014, with deliveries to be completed by 2016. 16 Su-30 M2 fighters were ordered in December 2013. Russian Naval Aviation, 50 Su-30 SMs on order. Ugandan Air Force ordered 6 Su-30 Mk2s in 2010. The last two aircraft from the order were delivered in June 2012. Venezuelan Air Force and the government of Venezuela announced on June 14, 2006 the purchase of 24 units of the Su-30 Mk2. The first two Su-30 Mk2s arrived in early December 2006 while another 8 were commissioned during 2007. 14 more units arrived in 2008. A second batch of 12 Su-30 Mkv is also being considered. It is 24 Su-30 Mk2s as of January 2012. Vietnam People's Air Force operates 4 Su-30 Mks and 20 Su-30 Mk2 versus in 2013. Vietnam reportedly signed a contract for 12 more Su-30 Mk2s in 2009, but the contract was reduced to 8 fighters. On July 20, 2010, it was announced at Farnborough International Air Show that Vietnam signed a contract for 20 Su-30 Mk2s. On August 21, 2013, Russia announced it would deliver another batch of 12 Su-30 Mk2s under a recent $450 million contract, with deliveries in 2014 to 2015. Specifications. Data from NATO, Sukhoi, Gordon and Davison. General characteristics: crew, 2, length, 21.935 am, wingspan, 14.7 am, height, 6.36 am, wing area, 62.0 am. 2, empty weight, 17,700 kg, loaded weight, 24,900 kg, max takeoff weight, 34,500 kg, power plant, 2 AL31FL low bypass turbofans, dry thrust, 7,600 kg force each, thrust with afterburner, 12,500 kg force each. Performance, maximum speed, Mach 2.0, range, 3,000 km at altitude, service ceiling, 17,300 am, rate of climb, 230 ams, wing loading, 401 kg per meter. 2, thrust weight, 1.00, maximum G load, plus 9G, armament. The Su-27Pu had 8 hardpoints for its weapon load, whereas the Su-30 Mk's combat load is mounted on 12 hardpoints, 2 wingtip AAM launch rails, 3 pylons under each wing, 1 pylon under each engine nacelle, and 2 pylons in tandem in the arch between the engines. All versions can carry up to 8 tons of external stores. Guns: 1 GSH-30-1 gun, AAMs, 6 R-27ER, 2 R-27ET, 6 R-73E, 6 R-77RVVAE, ASMs, 6 KH-31PA anti-radar ship missiles, 6 KH-29 tons per liter laser-guided missiles, 2 KH-59ME, aerial bombs, 6 KAB-500KR, 3 KAB-1500KR, 8 FAB-500T, 28 OFAB-250-270, nuclear bombs, Incidents and accidents. June 12, 1999, Paris Air Show, Le Bourget, France. A Russian Su-30 Mk crashed à Euro, both pilots ejected safely and no one was hurt on the ground. April 30, 2009, an Indian Air Force Su-30 Mki crashed near Jaisalmer. A pilot died. November 30, 2009, an Indian Air Force Su-30 Mki crashed near Jaisalmer. The pilots survived. December 13, 2011, an IAF Su-30 Mki crashed near Pune. Both the pilots ejected timely and survived the crash. See also: Fourth generation jet fighter, related development, Sukhoi Su-27/Shenyang J-11, Sukhoi Su-33, Sukhoi Su-34, Sukhoi Su-35, Sukhoi Su-37, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Boeing FF Super Hornet, McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle, Dassault Rafale, Eurofighter Typhoon, Mike-1 MiG-35, related lists, list of fighter aircraft, list of military aircraft of the Soviet Union and the CIS, references. Gordon, Yefim and Peter Davison. Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker. Specialty Press, 2006. ISBN A978-1-58007-091-1. Further reading, Eden, Paul. The Encyclopedia of Modern Military Aircraft. London, UK, Amber Books, 2004. ISBN A1-904687-84-9. Gordon, Yefim. Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker, Air Superiority Fighter. Airlife Publishing, 1999. ISBN A1-84037-029-7. Williams, Mal. Sukhoi Superflankers. Superfighters, the next generation of combat aircraft. Newark, Connecticut, Airtime Publishing Incorporated, 2002. ISBN A1-880588-53-6. External links: Su-30 Mk page on sukhoi.org, Su-30 page on malavia.net, Su-30 page on globalsecurity.org, Sukhoi Su-30 Mk Su-30 MKM fighter aircraft page on air recognition site, Sukhoi flankers a Euro. The shifting balance of regional air power, Su-27 series at Greg Goebel's AIR Vectors, Su-30 page on Fighter Tactics Academy site, Asia's Advanced Flankers on osairpower.net, Sukhoi Su-30 photo pool on FLICKR, YouTube video, Su-30 videos on patricksaviation.com, Su-30 videos on flightlevel350.com, Malaysian Su-30 MKM image on airliners.net, Sukhoi Su-30 story and colors at Mars SLUPSKPL.